my dear students, you are thinking that your employee orientation program is very good. Yes, it is good thought, but it must need to be evaluated. So let's talk about evaluation of organizational orientation program. So how are we doing? You may think your company's organizational orientation program is great, but if employees didn't find it worthwhile or failed to come away with an understanding of a salient features, then it is very important to evaluate your program. So that is your perspective, your perception that your employee orientation program is good. But your employee orientation program is for employee. How employees are considering your orientation program? What are their opinion about your orientation program? Their opinion must need to be noted. So your program should be continuously evaluated in terms of its content, in terms of its presentation, and in terms of its overall impact. So content, presentation, and overall impact of orientation program on new employees is very important. So obtain feedback. Obtain feedback from your new employees by surveying participants at the end of each session. And it is a continuous process. And it is a part of a continuous improvement of orientation program in your organization. So keep it continue and improve it with the passage of time, keeping in view the feedback provided by new hire about your orientation program. Then review and compare the survey results over a period of time. That 2 years back, these were the results. After 2 years, these are the results, how much distance we traveled. That was our previous situation, that is our current situation, that is our desired situation. How we can move from our current situation to our desired situation. This is very important. So here I mentioned some of the sample questions and statements which might include these, but you may include a number of other information, keeping in view your own organizational orientation context. So number one question, which segment of the orientation did you find most informative? That is the most important question, my dear student. That orientation program is for providing information to the new hire. And if the orientation program is not providing any kind of valuable information, so it is useless. So that's why you are asking this question, how much you find most informative. That is least informative or very much informative. So this is one of the main questions which you need to ask. Then information is one component. The second component is interest. So the second question is about interest. Which segment of the orientation did you find most interesting? Least interesting or more interesting? And then number 3, was the order in which topics were presented effective? The order of the presentation, the sequence of the presentation, the sequence of the information you are giving to the new hire. Yes or no? Yes, it is not a good scale, but if you can mention the scale on 1 to 5, 1 is the less effective, 5 is the most effective, then you can make it more sensitive and you can get more valuable information rather than mentioning only yes or no. And then number 4, list 3 things you learned about this organization as a result of the orientation. This is a very descriptive question and you have to mention 1, 2 and 3. 3 things which you have learned about the organization from this orientation program. And number 5, as a result of the orientation, do you fully understand your benefits? Because one purpose of the employee orientation program is to mention the information about the employee benefit. And if employees consider his benefit and understand his benefit in a better manner, then you can mention yes. And if she could not understand what information about the benefits are there, then you can mention no. And number 6, as a result of the orientation, do you fully understand the content of employee handbook? Because employee handbook, we already discussed about the employee handbook, how much the information given in the employee handbook are effective, that must need to be mentioned yes or no. And if it is no, then you may improve the information mentioned in the employee handbook. And number 7, on a scale of 1 to 5, with 1 representing the most effective and 5 signifying the least effective, rate each presenter in terms of the presenter's ability to convey the subject matter and sustain your interest. Here you are rating the presenter who are presenting different kind of information during the employee orientation session. And that scale would be mentioned for each presenter. Presenter 1 presenter 2, presenter 3 on a scale of 1 to 5. And number 8, on a scale of 1 to 5, with 1 representing the most helpful and 5 signifying the least helpful, rate the usefulness of the tour. Here you are asking the question about the tour. So how much the tour was effective? If it is a less effective, then it is a 1. If it is a most effective, it is a 5. And number 9, on a scale of 1 to 5, with 1 representing the highest and 5 signifying the lowest, describe your level of interest in the orientation overall. Here you are mentioning the overall level of interest to the employee orientation program. So on a scale of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you have to mention your rating. And number 10, this is a very descriptive question, because in a survey, all questions are not quantifiable. Some of the questions are descriptive or some of the questions are qualitative. What suggestions do you have to improve the organizational orientation program? So here they ask for the suggestion and you need to mention it specifically. So specific information or suggestions can help to improve the employee orientation program for the new hire in future. And number 11, please provide a summarizing statement reflecting your overall evaluation of the orientation program. Here there is again qualitative information and you have to summarize the overall effectiveness of the orientation program. Ask presenters for their feedback as well. So only new hires are not important. The presenters who are giving the information to the new hire, their input is very important as well. So here are some questions about the presenter. Number 1, the overall structure of the program, you may ask from the presenter. Number 2, the balance of information while presenting. Number 3, the completeness of information given to the new hire. Then the opinion of the presenter is very important here. And number 4, the clarity of information and the relevance of information, and then the tone of the overall program. So information or a survey of the participants of the employee orientation program and the information from the presenter, both are important, and by this way you can get information, and that information need to be compared with the previous information gathered in the previous months or years, and then you need to compare those information so you can make employee orientation program more effective for the future new hire.